Good morning, good morning, good morning, Academy 55. Just record this a minute. Hang on. Yeah, good morning, good morning, good morning, Academy 55. David Kahn here on Thursday, the 17th of July. It's now nearly 5 to 8 in the morning, 5 to 8 right now. And we're looking at the Academy 55 indicators and strategy on the 1 minute time frame following the EUR USD Forex pair. What we can see now is we are in the midst of maybe looking at a buy from the from that pair. It's brewing up. They had a big sell-off, and now is it the turn to fill out all these imbalances and get to maybe having a trade on the buy side, or are they going to continue on down? Because we're at a critical juncture at the moment, I'm not going to be moving from this very much. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my MT4 on. And here we have the same situation on the MT4. Obviously, we've had all these parabolic saws underneath the price. But we have a little bit of consolidation. But make sure your risk to reward is in purple. Your lot calc is in purple. And you've got that all-important 1% risk. I like to keep this one open as well, just in case I need to close. There are other ways you can do it on MT4 if you haven't got Trade Assistant, but we highly recommend that you have Trade Assistant because it works out your calculations for you. And when you're on the minute time frame, you haven't got all that time to do those fiddly things. But we're not affiliated with Trade Assistant, so it's we advise you to get it. Certainly helped me out, but there are other ones out there. But we've done a whole video learning on it, and it's one of the better ones on the market that we looked into extensively. So why wouldn't you? But so nice to see everybody watching us in the Academy 55 room, and all those on my YouTube channel. If you're watching on YouTube, please subscribe. Then you get notifications whenever I'm on live and or uploaded a video. And also, please bear in mind that if you're watching on YouTube, there is a bigger, quite a substantial delay from when I actually push the button of the trade. But Academy 55 members get to see me in the room, and it's nearly instant, really. But having said that, all trades that I take are for educational purposes only. I trade so you don't have to, if you don't want to. And indeed, I do lose sometimes. So, you know, you're all adults, make your own mind up. But whatever you do, if you're new to Academy 55 or any sort of trading, make sure you demo, don't use your real money. So Academy 55 philosophy. Make sure you're comfortable with what you're doing before you do it. But now we're going into consolidation, maybe waiting for the news. There is some news, although I've got it as low impact news, but there's 3 or 4 together, and that might make it go a few pips one way or the other. Well, we're here. We shall see. It's 7:59 now here in the UK. Another 5 seconds, we'll find out whether it moves or not. Could move in the other direction. 8 o'clock. This is when the news is out. Like I say, it's low impact news, so don't expect much really. So we're on the verge of maybe this is what it looks like. Volume is running right out. You can see that obviously by the amount of got a lot smaller. And if anything, we're going to carry on the sell. Dollar recovers as Trump scales back talk against Fed's Powell's market talk. So everything as it were, the dollar is getting stronger, hence the euro falling. So are we going to be continuing this quite substantial sell that we started at 20 past 6 this morning UK time? Maybe. So that may, I'll keep a close eye on this, but that might give us time to have a quick look at the bigger picture. Turn the indicators off. Going on the 5 minute. That's where we are. So as you can see, we have big imbalances being formed on the drop around about 7 o'clock. But they're in no rush to clean that up yet by the look of it. Could be some buy orders in this buy zone here, you see. But let's go and have a look at the daily. So yesterday, bit of buying power, but inconclusive at the end of it, a lot of indecision. Sellers in charge today. So indeed, we could be getting down to these. Ah, right, we got a imbalance down here. From that wick there to there. This candle here is all in balance. So let's get the right condition. On that candle there's no selling power that side of the candle, no selling power that side of the candle. So this little portion of this big candle here, because of that wick there and that wick there, just this bit alone is imbalance that needs to be readdressed. So that's important. So we'll go on to the 4-hourly, and there we are. The same imbalance being shown. That wick there stops. That's where the imbalance starts. But then again, we've got imbalance up here now, and we've got, no, we haven't because of that wick, but we got a little bit of imbalance on this candle, obviously. So we have to be careful. Just quickly going back on the minute, making sure we're okay. Yeah, we are okay. On the 4-hourly again, let's turn it over to the line chart. Any significant line? Yes, there is. Just here is a line to watch out for. Just about there. See resistance, 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 resistance. So that line there is obviously fairly important. Turn it over to the hourly. So that's all good. Going down to the 5 minute. And marking up these buy and sell zones. And that's marked the charts. Put it back on the minute. And get the alerts back on. As we can see, we are coming up to, it's all over the place. I'm trying to make it big so you guys can see that. Is price going to get into the buy zone down here? Give us a better confirmation of when it does. We do exactly get a buy alert because that's the next one on the rank anyway. Because the way the alerts work, it's buy, sell, buy, sell, buy, sell. So we're ready, just in case. But we have this sideways movement at the moment, consolidation. While we're down so far, let's have a quick look at what happened last night, because we did some live trading at 7 o'clock last night. And this is the trade I took. If you remember, I took my money out here because I was following the parabolic up. And because of all this action here, I was worried about it just going into sideways movement again. So I was quite happy taking out at 0.5% profit. No qualms about that. But as you can see, was I too cautious? Well, in hindsight, yes, I was, because if I'd have waited another hour, I indeed would have got my 2%. But, that's hindsight. Uh, I was happy with what I got, considering what I saw here. But, if I was less cautious because of the time of the day, or sometimes I put my trade on and then just walk out of the building and accept my fate, a 1% loss or a 2% gain. No matter what, I would have been successful. But because I'm looking at the trade, reanalyzing, this is what happens to most traders, goes on in their mind, analysis paralysis, and overthink things. Oh, right, things are happening. As far as the EUR USD is concerned, so we'll quickly go back. Right, we've got a buy alert. This is where I want my stop loss, but as you can see, we got the wave hasn't turned green yet. So I want to give it a little bit more of an oomph. Everything else is green. God, I nearly missed that. It's green now, so I'm, yeah, there 4.9 pips stop loss. Green trend, green volume ribbon, green wave. I can only just see it itself, so I don't know whether you can. Oh, it's fluffish. It's been from red to green actually, but we got imbalances down here. So you know, did I go too early? But I've got a 4.9 pip stop loss. So let's mark it up on. There, the wave is green. You can see it clearer on that. 4.9 pip, which is way up there. Yeah, that's about right. 2%, which is takes me beyond, as you can see, this line here. So this line here, feeling it might bounce or break. So just going to have a look on the higher time frames, take my indicators off, go on to the 5 minute. But as you can see, we've got lots of imbalance that needs filling. But we've got this big daily imbalance down here in the buy zone. So really, what are they going to do first? Are they going to fill out these imbalances and then go down and get all these orders, or are they going to get the orders first and then fill out the imbalances? It's hard to say. And also, we've got this support and resistance line here. But we are traders in the trade. So, made my decision, accepting a 1% loss if that is the case, or a 2% gain. Didn't quite get into the buy zone, but these aren't always 100% accurate, and it's only the shadow of the buy zone. This is the actual buy zone here, and this is the ray that comes out of the buy zone. But making no excuses for that. So they're not 100% accurate. Nothing ever is. So we could come down and get take it out for a 1% loss, but that's no big deal. I'm having lots of good results other times of the day. So we'll have to wait and see what happens with this. The thing is, we got imbalance here as well that needs to be filled, and also they got buy orders down here. So they're riding on the dollar, losing a little bit at the moment, which is gaining strength on the euro. So let's just see what happens here. Nice to see so many people on with me this morning. Adrian, Anna, Anne, Ian, Kevin, Pat, and Raj at the moment. Welcome to you all. So this is where we are. While we're doing that, I think I will finish up my tea and play this.
Hi, this is Steve, and in this short video I'm going to just show you the settings for the Trade Assistant to make sure that you've got the minimum 2 pip stop loss on the Euro USD or any currency pair, and how you set it for if you're trading a commodity like the US 100, because the settings are slightly different. So here you can see we're on the Euro USD chart here. I've got my risk to reward on the Trade Assistant locked at 2 to 1. I've got my risk balance at 1%. Lot calculator is on, and my little purple button here between the buy and sell is also activated. So we're ready to bring the Trade Assistant onto the chart. Now you'll notice here that we've got the stop loss set at 20. That indicates 2 pips when you're on a currency pair. And we can actually change that here by typing over it. So if I type in there 40 and just tab off here, you can see now we've got a stop loss of 4 pips because we're on a currency pair. In this example it's Euro USD, but it could be Euro GBP or any currency pair. So let's just put that back to 20 for our 2 pips. We'll click off here, and now we'll just put the lines on so that you can see that is showing us 2 pips over here on the actual tool, ready to actually get involved with a trade if that's what we were going to do. But that's not what we're here for now. I'm going to click off the lines here, and what we're going to do is we're going to change our chart from Euro USD to US 100. And I can do that by dragging it onto the screen here. You'll see it now switch over to US 100. And now you can see that stop loss says 20, and that's wrong for a commodity. So what we want to do here is come in here and type 2000. This is the equivalent of 2 pips on a commodity such as US 100. So now when I put the lines on, you'll see we've got the number 2000 here, and if I just zoom around, you'll notice the 2 to 1 still applies, 2000 and 4000 here, where we've got a $1,000 trade in place, risking $1,000 to win $2,000. So that's the number that you need to get your 2 pip minimum on. So the minimum number would be 2000. You could have anything above that if you're on a commodity like US 100, and the number will be 20, which is 2 pips equivalent if you're on a currency pair such as Euro USD. Hopefully you found this useful, and thanks very much for watching.
Thanks, Steve. As always. Right, where are we in the scheme of things? Right, we are hopefully gathering strength for a 2% win. But if I take this off and go to trading view, I can explain a bit easier. We've tapped into this imbalance candle here, and sometimes they tap into it and we tapped into it again and then come back down. So we're not out of the woods yet, of course. As we know, things happen. But in the course of backtesting Academy 55 over the long term, I proved to you guys, hopefully, and I proved to myself that the results are very, very good. And if we were to get a 1% loss, no, that is really not a big deal. Just lending them back the money. But it's gone all sideways again. Basically, it's disseminating. It's all about London disseminating whether what's going to go with the dollar. Is the dollar going to be weaker or stronger? Maybe not enough intel to determine one way or the other. That's why we're going sideways. God, it's gone muggy down here. With fans in the other room. Oh well. It's very humid down here in Cornwall at the moment. But yeah, we got imbalances down here. So I mean, it wouldn't be price will do what it's going to do. but we did everything right. Green trend, green wave, buy alert, everything was green, green, green. So we did the correct thing. Actually, it's a 5.1 pip stop loss, not 4.9. So I'll rejig that around. 5.1. Only minuscule amounts, but it all helps. Is that right? Let's go and have a look. Yeah, that's right. That's better. But yeah, we've got imbalances down here also, and it tapped into the imbalance I showed you earlier on, which is, and we've got sideways motions on our hands. But we got the odds more in our favor because of, that's the way we know we got a somewhere between a 65 and 75% chance of it happening. But that also means there is a 25% chance of it not happening. And like I say, we get taken out, 1% is no big deal. Which you've seen many, many times. Eventually we prevail. And it looks like I'm going to be taking a bit of a 1% loss on this, maybe. But like I said, that's really no big deal. And indeed, unfortunately, this time around. Now, if there is a sell due, we know there's a buy zone here. So I wouldn't want to be acting on the sell. There we got a sell here. I wouldn't want to be acting on that sell because we don't want you guys to go on fear of missing out. And what we trade with our eyes, trade what we see, not what we think. And what we know is there is a buy zone just down here. So if a sell does happen, minimum two pips away. At the moment, sorry, it would be there, wouldn't it? Because that's where the trend line is. And that would be closest to the entry. And as you can see, at the moment, assuming a 2.2 pip stop loss between that and entry, it will take you into the buy zone. But in reality, price might be more than a 2.2 pip. It'll probably be about 3 or 4, which would take you 2% well into the buy zone. So that is a more riskier trade. And indeed, we haven't even got the sell alert yet anyway. So that's where we were, unfortunately. So what I do is I copy the link and then I record the results down here. So paste it in my journal that you can all Academy 55 members can see. I'm on the EUR USD 8 to 9. Drag that down. I'll say Thursday the 17th. It was a buy. Unfortunately, it lost. So unfortunately, got -1 for not a big deal, as I said. So that ultimately puts me on my overall at the moment set back to 7.25. I've got plenty of time for the rest of the month to be able to hopefully achieve my target. but you trade what the market is willing to give you and not what you wish you had. You can only trade what the market is willing to give you. It's looking like that. In actual fact, I wouldn't be surprised if this buy works, but obviously that little spike there took us out by nearly 2 pips. But we don't dwell on that. It's the way it is. Stop loss was in the right place. And that served us really well many times. So unfortunately we got taken out by 2 pips this time. But the indicators generally are sound. It's just we had a little bit more volume than we wanted down here. And indeed, I wouldn't be surprised if we get to here or even here eventually on this buy alert. But unfortunately, we got a loss for it, but that's fine. I'm going to throw out the I'm going to now be a counselor if anybody took a trade. I'm not going to be a counselor and throw open the chat to anybody who wants to get the number of the Samaritans or anything. Sorry, making light of that. That's not true. That's not right. But like I say, the journal is there to look at the overall bigger picture with all the back testing you guys have done, as well as what I've done. I've got months and months and months of results. And give you confidence in the Academy 55 strategy overall. So if you have any comments of what you've seen here today and want to ask me any questions, I'll give you another 5 minutes. But there's no point brooding over what's just happened. Yeah, tapped into this imbalance on this candle here, and then up we go again. Got time to play you this.
Hi, this is Steve with a very short video to show you where to get the training for the indicators and tools we use inside Academy 55. So once you're logged into the members area, you'll see in the premium dashboard this section that's entitled Start Learning. And if you click here, that'll take you through to the learning library. Now, we'll say at this point, we highly recommend you watch each of these videos 2 or 3 times to get a full understanding of how everything works. Here you'll find tutorials on using the MT4 Trade Assistant and how to use the MT4 platform with the Trade Assistant. This is the longest video you'll find inside the platform. It's around 30 minutes long, well worth your time. Watch the video once, then maybe write a few questions down that you might have for yourself and watch the video for a second time, and things will really start to make sense. By the time you watch it 3 times, you'll fully understand how everything works. So that's the longest video. It's about 30 minutes long, well worth your time. And then you can jump into individual trainings here for how to remove indicators. These videos are just a couple of minutes long. How to move MetaTrader around like you can in TradingView, Trading Assistant controls, how to do back testing in TradingView, how to draw vertical lines to mark out your hour, and so much more. And by the time you watch this video or see this video, there might be other trainings in this section. But everything here is well worth your time, and you find that, as I said a moment ago, from the main dashboard in the Start Learning section. Now, one more thing just to mention here. If you're looking for anything in particular, if you come down to the support name of FAQs, click on Get Support, and in this area you'll find a detailed FAQ section, and you can come through here. For example, if you're looking for an answer to a question about MetaTrader, have a look through these, and once you click through you'll find direct links to videos that give you answers to most of the questions that we get asked on a regular basis. So hopefully you found this useful, and back to your further training.
Yeah, thanks very much, Steve. So this is the situation we are at the moment, unfortunately, because of that little spike there. I wouldn't be surprised if price does go and get up here because all these imbalances are here. It might stall along here for a while, maybe. But we have no questions. So the only thing I can say to you later on, because of the rules, we can trade one more time today. I know when I'll be trading. Well, I don't know yet, to be fair. I've got other things to do today, but if the time allows, I know when, if I can trade, I will. But with that being said, see you guys again tomorrow. Have yourselves a great day. Thanks very much and see you soon. Bye for now.